Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard the saying, every cloud has a silver lining? Or maybe even, when life gives you lemons, make lemonades? Well, today we're going to do some lemonade because we're not making lemonade, but we're going to build on that concept because, as you know, in the past couple weeks we had some failures. But out of those failures, I discovered something that is going to blow your mind. This is so good, it's going to blow your mind. So what I did was I picked through some of those trays of failures and got out some vegetables that we had stir fried and just freeze dried those on their own. Tasted and they were pretty good. So I made up a batch of peppers and onions and stir fried those with some sweet chili sauce and then freeze dried them, and I made these in a test batch. Now these have been sitting out in this airtight container, not vacuum sealed or anything, just in an airtight container for about 2 weeks. And these are my sweet chili sauce pepper chips. That's a green pepper. Wow. A yellow pepper. And an onion. These are going to blow your mind away. And it's going to be really easy to prepare. All right. So, I've teased you with the end results. Let's get cooking. We're going to do these in separate vegetables. That way we can tray them up separately for the freeze dryer and give them a little space. Try and not get them stick together too much. So we'll show you that. Tackle that when it's time to tackle that. But we're going to start off with my onions. Now, I love watching those videos where someone will take an onion like that and say, we're going to chop up these onions, and somehow they just cut it in and boom, you ended up with the chopped onions. That's what we're doing here. And there you go. Chopped onions. All right. So let's get this on high. And we are going to use some oil, but we're going to use it sparingly, you know. Maybe a tablespoon or a little bit more in there. Let that get all hot. Alright, that oil is nice and hot there. Let's take our onions and get them fried. I'm gonna try and get a nice char on these onions. As I'm stir frying these, I'm just kind of separating the layers of the onions as well. Hopefully you can pick that up in the picture. That these are starting to get semi-translucent, but more importantly, they're getting some gold caramelized colors on the edges. I'm not timing this, but that's what you're looking for. Is get some nice sauteed, sweet caramelized onion to these onions. You know what? We are going to call that good. So now I'm going to take the heat off of that. And we're going to take my sweet chili sauce by Panda Express. I love their sauces because they don't use high fructose corn syrup, which is great for the freeze dryer. And we're just going to put probably a couple of tablespoons in there. Just enough to lightly coat those onions. They don't need a lot. Just give those a nice toss till everything's got some of that sweet and sour sauce on it. Oh yeah, looking good. All right, that's going to do it. All right, now we're going to spread these out on our Harvest Right tray. We're going to try and keep these not overlapping too much to stop them from kind of sticking together, so we can make a nice trail mix out of this. If need be, we'll do it in 2 layers. I'm totally prepared for that. I'm going to take some parchment paper here. And put another layer on there. And there we go. That's what they kind of look like. We'll set those off to the side. I'm going to rinse out my skillet and I'll be right back. All right. Interesting story. We're going to move on to my bell peppers now. Interesting story on these at Walmart. They were on sale, 3-pack for $2.49. Big, huge sign, $2.49 in one of those big square bins close to the self-checkout. $2.49 for 3 peppers. I thought, bargain, I'll buy 2 just in case. 1 package isn't enough. Went into self-checkout and started scanning. They came up $2.99. I called the lady over. I said, look, you can see the sign right there. It says $2.49. She kind of got upset with me, like I was asking her to fly to the moon or something like that. So she changed the price. But just keep an eye on that. Especially when I said it's right there. I could have thrown my my peppers at the stack of them where the sign was. Big, huge one, $2.49. So that's an interesting story. So let's get these chopped up. Well, kind of sliced up. I love these red bell peppers. They are so sweet. Alright, so we're just going to cut these in little fingers. Kind of like that. Okay, got those done. Put those on high. Put another splash of oil in there. Oh, a little bit more than I needed. That's alright. I did end up using one of the red and one of the orange, and I got a yellow left over, so I used 5 bell peppers. Alright. Oh, let's get our peppers in there. Same process. We're going to try and get a little char on these. These won't stick together like those onions do. All layers in them. Alright. Now we cook those till they're just starting to get tender. We don't want them too soft, but we don't want them raw. And those are looking pretty good. Now I thought for my test batch, all I did was sweeten the sweet chili sauce. But I thought, let's experiment and play around a little bit. Since we're making a trail mix, Chinese trail mix, let's do our peppers with some teriyaki sauce. Why not try something different flavors? Alright, so we're going to put another couple of tablespoons. We'll go ahead and turn the heat off. Get those in there, get them tossed around, get them coated in that teriyaki sauce. Alright. That looks good. Do the same thing. Kind of layer them out on our freeze dryer tray. Kind of spread out a bit. All right. That's my second tray. Let me get my skillet rinsed out, and I got one more tray to cook up. All right. For my last vegetable, I got a 1 pound bag of sugar snap peas. Now, sugar snap peas, I'm gonna pick that up. I like to chop the ends off because they can be a little bit tough and chewy. So I just chop that off, and since these are pretty big, I might cut those in half, make them a little more bite-sized. Just like that. So let me press on with this, and I'll be right back. All right, we are ready to move on with these. Now, I gotta go fast because my battery, I see, is getting low on my camera. So a couple tablespoons of oil in there. We're going to just dump these beans in there. And again, we are going to toss these until they are starting to get tender. Not soggy, but taking that freshness out of them. Not the rawness out of them. So I'm going to press pause on my camera and save that battery. Alright. These have had the rawness cooked off of them. I'm getting a nice little browning coat on those. So we are going to call these good. Turn that off. And what do you think about, should I put some honey sesame sauce on these? That sounds good. Again, we'll go with a couple tablespoons or so. You can put more if you want, but you're going to end up with problems with them sticking together. I don't think you need that much of the sauce on them, to be honest with you. Same thing, we're going to put these in a layer on our tray. All right. Onions, peppers, sugar snap peas. What are we missing? I've got a surprise for you. How about some Chow Mein Noodles? I used to love these as a kid. One bag that is 12 ounces. I'm going to put them in this bowl here. Now these probably don't need freeze drying. I'm going to get a bigger bowl. Let's try that. They probably don't need freeze drying. They're dry already, but you know, who knows how much moisture is in there, so we're going to play it safe. But what I thought I would do, these are quite nice on their own. But let's add a little saltiness, Chinesey to us. I'm going to sprinkle these with soy sauce. And just give those a toss. Kind of give them a little bit of flavor. A little bit of saltiness to them. Let's see what that does to the flavor. Yeah. That's going to make all the difference in the world. Alright. I got a four slot freeze dryer. Let's get these noodles spread out kind of like halfway even. And there's my fourth tray for the freeze dryer. We got them all in the camera? Yeah. Onions, peppers, sugar snap peas, and chow mein noodles. Sweet chili sauce, teriyaki sauce, honey sesame, and soy sauce. That is going to make a delicious Chinese stir-fry trail mix. Never been done before, I don't think. But if it has, I'm sorry, but I've never done it before. There you go. So I'm going to get these in the freezer, get them frozen solid. Once they're frozen solid, I'll fire up the freeze dryer. We'll get them in there in the freeze dryer, and next time you see these, they'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. I look forward to this one. I'll see you then. All right, that was relatively a short run, since it was a light load, kind of. Looking at that monitor, I think it's about time I got my hedge trimmers out and trimmed my hedges a little bit there. But you'll have to put up with me. I'll get that done. All right, so what we got here? So what I have is my onions, my peppers, my sugar snap peas, and my chow mein noodles. So what we're going to do is take all this and dump it into my big bowl here. Just like that. Get these out of the way. Those are good. And we're going to get in here and we're just going to give these a really good toss. And while we're at it, while we're tossing it, if we come across some that's stuck together, we're just going to break those apart. Which they do come apart very easily. Alright. I'm going to take our mason jar here. Kind of fill those up. I'll be right back. Let's take our O2 absorbers. We'll put one of those. Gotta try and tuck the edges on these because they're kind of big for the jar. But that's all the size I got. Put our lid on there. And let's seal them up. All right. Just like that. And I'm going to put the rest of these into my snacking tray. All right. So we got a nice thumbnail for that, I think. What do you think of that? Chinese stir-fry trail mix. You know what we got to do? We got to test this and see what it tastes like. Now that's the onion. Oh man. That is melt in your mouth. Beautiful onion, sweet chili flavor. Some pepper. Oh yeah, that's good. Can't remember what flavor that was. But man, that is so good. Let's try a sugar snap pea. Those are delicious too. The sauce I put on this is very subtle, and I wanted it to be that way because I wanted to get the taste of the vegetable, which we do. And I'm finding it hard to remember what flavor I put on these bell peppers. Maybe the teriyaki and the sugar snaps. think I'm detecting a taste of honey in there, so I'm going to say that's the honey one. But if I'm wrong, don't quote me on that. Just trust me, these are delicious. And of course, our chow mein noodles. Very good. Now, I think I could have put a few more sprinkles of soy sauce on this because I don't really taste the soy sauce. Just a very subtle salty taste to them, but that might be from the original, the way they're packaged. Man, this is really, really good. And I wasn't wrong when I said you don't need a lot of that sauce in there. I think you could make the sauce overbearing to the vegetable if you put too much in there. So I'd go with what I did in the video, because that is just about right. You get the undertone of that sauce and the great taste of the fresh vegetable. Man, I think the peppers and the onions, oh man, are the best. And the sugar snap peas are really good. They got good sugar snap pea taste to them. But the sauce I used on that, whichever one it was, is underwhelming. Yeah, I don't really taste much of the sauce. I think I taste just the taste of honey in those. But how many people you know, when you go camping or hiking or open a bag up at the office, how many people you know is going to have some Chinese stir fry trail mix? There we go. That's what we're going to call this. Chinese stir fry trail mix. That's an original by John and Bibbs. I hope I inspired you guys to try this, because it is absolutely gorgeous. Fairly easy to prepare. I think on at least on the peppers, maybe the string sugar snap peas, I might have put a little bit too much oil in my frying pan because there is an oily residue on my trays. I'm not too worried about that. These aren't going to last 30 years for me. But proper O2 absorber in a Mylar bag, I would feel confident storing these for 10, 15 years in an temperature controlled environment, not out in the garage or the shed or something like that. You want a temperature controlled environment, and that oil probably wouldn't be a problem. But next time, just use the smallest amount of oil that you can get away with for stir frying without your vegetables sticking to your skillet, and you can't go wrong. These are absolutely to die for. You've got to try them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.